You need to stop doing it right now. It's making everything worse. So let's talk about reasons why you need to ditch diet culture now. Reason number one, you only get short-term results. So diets are short-term, right? Because you cannot sustain a diet for a long time. And the same as with results. So you get only short-term lived results. So I've been through it so many times. I'm on a diet and then maybe a week, sometimes less, most of the time less. Because I used to pick like very challenging diets where you eat one egg a day and then nothing else. I mean, not that extreme, but very extreme. And then after a few days, you're like starving. You wanna kill pretty much everyone around you. You're very stressed. You're very tired, and you're like, well, I gotta start eating. And then you start eating all this bad food, and then the cycle repeats, right? You're back on the diet again. So there's been a study that actually shows that people who have been on a diet before, within a few years, they actually gain more weight, which is worse, right? Because that wasn't your intention. That wasn't something that you were looking forward to. But all of this yo-yo where it goes back and forth, and there's no really healthy eating behind it, it actually makes it really worse for your body. It makes it worse for your long-term results that you want to lose weight, right? You want to be healthy, you want to be happy, but at the same time, this yo-yo dieting makes it worse. And diets, they are not sustainable. As I mentioned before, like you cannot be on a very strict diet all the time, right? So if there are restrictions, it's very normal for our brain. If we have certain restrictions, we wanted more, right? So let's say you remember when you were a kid and you wanted that exact toy, and your parents probably said, well, we can buy it for you, or you have to wait until Christmas or something like that. Santa will buy it for you, right? So when you have this restriction, you actually wanted more. So if you have restriction to certain food, you crave it. Like I remember I was on a diet and I was eating only vegetables and I just wanted some protein. I just crave some protein. And it gets to the point of obsession, which is not really good for your mental health. So it gets to the point of obsession. And then once you off the diet, right, because you cannot sustain this diet forever, your body craves this nutrition. Your body craves this, if you miss some protein, it craves protein. If you miss something else very important, it craves that particular product. Or if you're restricting yourself of sugar, and then you eat like two cakes in a row, right? Like the two whole cakes because you were missing it out so much and you were craving and you were dreaming about it every day. And that's where the law of attraction comes into place, because if you dream about cake every day, I'm gonna tell you 100% the same with visualizations, right? Or the way people do nowadays. Like you're gonna attract that cake into your life. It's gonna happen. No matter how strong the willpower you have, it's still gonna happen at some point in your life, and it's gonna be worse. It's gonna be to the point where you start eating yourself because you ate so much sugar. It's to the point where you start eating yourself because it's not good for your body and you feel that it's not good, but you cannot control yourself. You're losing all the control. So all this binging, all these restrictions, it's not good for your body. It just goes on and off, and then it keeps coming like up and down, and your body weight goes up and down. And I've been through it. I've been through it all my life. I think since I was probably 8 or 10, right? I was on diets, which was really bad because all the stress, all this, perception of my body that I'm not beautiful, that I'm not pretty, all these, things that other people to tell you have to be, that's not normal. And diets are not normal. We're not supposed to be on diets. We are natural human beings. We are supposed to eat, and we're supposed to eat whatever our body needs and our body wants, right? So diets are not natural for us. So yo-yo dieting has a lot of negative side effects. It unbalances your hormones. So your starvation, when you're starving, the cortisol levels increase. So it's a stress hormone, which is not good for your body, because when you're on the diet, you're constantly under stress, and your body is already it gets tired. It gets it gets really, really tired from that cortisol, right? It wears out your body, and all of these repetitive cycles of gaining, losing, regaining weight, not healthy for you at all. So it can include, there's been studies that, yo-yo dieting actually increases your risk of heart disease, of heart attack, which is terrible. You don't want that, right? No, you don't. And it has long-lasting negative impacts on your metabolism. And the, when we on the diet, our point is to increase our metabolism in order to lose weight, right? But it actually does the opposite. It actually slows down your metabolism, which is the worst. You don't want that. You want it to be increased so your body is healthy, processing all this food, all these calories, all this energy, and using it consistently, not slowing down. When we slow down our metabolism, actually we start gaining weight. We start keeping more because our body freaks out, our mind freaks out because, well, we're in the starvation mode. Starvation is not normal. Starvation is bad for us, right? Because even since caged times, right, when we were, living in cages, it wasn't normal. It was actually really bad for a person to be in starvation mode. So when you were starving, it meant you have no food. So maybe you won't survive. So for our subconscious brain, for our brain, it's actually a very terrible idea. That's why that all these processes where it starts slowing down your metabolism, it starts doing all these things to put you in stress so you can go get some food, right? Even though your brain doesn't know that you actually have food in your fridge, so you can go and get it. But it makes you stressed so you can go and get the food because you need to survive. It sounds really strange nowadays because we all have food in our fridges, right? Most of us do. The fortunate do. Most of us are fortunate that way. Uh, yeah, it's so strange because one part of our body, very small and very old part of our body, still operates in that level where it thinks like we're living in cave ages, right? So it thinks that we're missing out this meal because we don't have food. It thinks it's bad for us, and that's why it starts doing all of these things that actually not benefiting you. Also, when you're on a diet, you're missing some very important nutrients and minerals. So it's very bad for you in all kinds of ways because your body needs it, you need it, and it like I don't have to tell you if you're missing some minerals and nutrition, it means your body is not getting it. It means your body has to get it somehow, and then that's how people create health problems. That's how people create you know, health problems, for long-term health problems, right? You don't know how it's going to affect your health from now, probably 5 years later, or 10 years later, or maybe later. Maybe it will affect it because there's been no studies. At the same time, it's very important to get your nutrition, and it's very important to get your minerals because it affects your health. Another reason why you have to ditch the diet mentality and you have to ditch diet at all is it's very bad for your emotional health. Like I know from my own experience, and you've probably been through this before as well. It can lead to eating disorders where you don't like your body, where you don't know what to eat. Like I remember I was feeling like unless when I was eating any kind of food, unless it was lettuce, I felt bad about it. I felt bad about eating, which is terrible because eating is natural, eating is normal, so you shouldn't be feeling bad about eating food. Eating food is normal. Eating food is supposed to be. We're supposed to eat. We need to get fuel. So it was so strange for me, and I realized that I have a lot of misconceptions about food. I have a lot of misconceptions about my body. I have a lot of things that are in my head that clog in it and doesn't let me live my life, right? It's very bad for emotional health. It can lead to eating disorders. It can be constant shame and blame. It can be unrealistic expectations from your body where you have to be this perfect, I don't know, person that doesn't exist in real world because no one is perfect. And it can lead to so many things, and it can lead to depressions, to mood swings, it can affect your relationship because if you're not happy with yourself, if you're not happy with what you're eating, if you're not happy with your body, it can affect your relationships, it can affect your work, it can affect pretty much everything, all kinds of areas in your life, and it's bad. It shouldn't be that way. We shouldn't be stressing out about food. We shouldn't be thinking that eating is bad. We shouldn't be thinking that eating is not normal because it is. So now you're thinking, okay, Nadia, so you've told me all these reasons and all these, bad things that can happen when I'm dieting. So what do I do now, right? Like, how do I lose weight? How do I get to the body I want? How do I feel better? How do I change my life, right? And the answer is very simple, but at the same time, a bit complicated. Because sometimes very simple things can be very complicated because you need to figure it out. So it's gonna take a time. Your body knows. Your body knows what kind of food you need. Your body knows what kind of nutrition you need. Your body knows when you need to eat, how much you need to eat. So your body knows everything. So here it is, your brain, your subconscious mind. So your subconscious mind operates pretty much everything in your body. From blood pressure, your heart is pumping blood, right? Hormones, anything you do, everything is operated right here, right? We all know that. And the same with weight. It's operated from this, operation center. And this operation center knows what you need. So every time you eat a certain food, it knows what kind of nutrition you got. So let's say you ate orange, right? So you ate orange and your body already knows, your subconscious knows that in oranges, there are vitamin C because last time we ate orange and we got vitamin C, right? So you don't even have to know it consciously. You don't have to know every nutrition food and you don't have a calculator. You don't have to do anything. This processing machine, it knows everything, which is amazing because you don't have to do anything. You don't have to calculate, you don't have to think. You just need to listen to your body, and your body knows what it needs and what it wants. So become more intuitive with your body. Start listening. Like after you eat a certain food, uh, how do you feel? And when you get to the fridge or when you go to the kitchen, like when you look at food, do you feel good about eating this food or do you feel bad about eating this food? Like start noticing your emotions, your responses, because your body talks to you, but it talks to you in its own way because it doesn't have words, right? So it needs to talk some way. So it talks through some tension maybe or through some other feelings in your body. So start noticing when you eat certain foods, like do you feel like eating it? Like really honestly answer this question, because sometimes we look at, like I look at cake, right? I'm like, I want it. I definitely want it. My body wants it. But then I start thinking like, really, does it? And then I start noticing in my body, like what's going on here? Like does it feel good? Will my body feel good after I eat it? I'm like, I'm not sure about that. And sometimes the answer is yes. Sometimes I eat that cake and I'm feeling happy about it and I enjoy it. And like, it's very awesome. And sometimes it's not good, right? So it's very important to listen to your body. I know it takes time. I know it takes practice, but you're getting to know yourself. You're getting to know your inner world, your body. You start talking to your body, which is amazing because it always talks to you. Your body always talks. When you're tired, it makes you a little bit tired so you can go to rest, right? So it talks to you through certain feelings. It talks through you through certain emotions. It talks through you through certain feelings in different parts of your body. So and everyone is different. Like I cannot tell you to do this and then your body do that, and do this so your body will do that, because each body is unique. Each body is different and responds in a different way. So you just need to start being aware and start being more intuitive, and you just need to trust yourself more when it comes to food, when it comes to emotions, when it comes to, being aware of what's going on in your body. So it's very important to start listening. And in the next video, I'm gonna give you a few intuitive eating tips that are very helpful, and that will, if you start in this journey or if you continue this journey, those are my personal tips. I didn't get anywhere. I just went through the journey and I got on my own, and I think those are the most important ones. That's why I included in that video. So hit the subscribe, hit the like button if you like this video, and feel free to share, because I've been in this hole of dieting and constant stress and constant, probably like, it felt like depression, because the cycle never ends. The cycle never ends and it keeps going and going, and you feel like you don't have a way out. But now that I'm out, I feel so great. And everybody needs to know that. Like every person in a diet, they need to know that it's not the way to go. Like it leads nowhere. It's just a loop. It's a hamster wheel where you don't get anywhere. You need to get out. You need to get out of this diet mentality. You need to get out. So feel free to share. Feel free to spread the word. Feel free to comment in the comments below what you feel, what you think, how dieting affected your life, because it affected most of our lives, right? It's not good for us, and we know it's not good, but we don't have any other way, right? We don't see the way out, but you have the way out. It's intuitive eating and listening to your body, and once you start listening, once you start learning about yourself, you can actually change your life and stop thinking about food. Like, I don't think about food anymore. I don't stress about food anymore. I don't stress about my body. Like, I live my life. I'm doing videos on YouTube. I have energy and time for that right now. So it's amazing how my life has changed once I discovered this. So click like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.